The Lost and Found Prince. Story 10 of Fabulous Tales and Fables ASAP by Owen T Duggan. The Lost and Found Prince. Scene 8. Someone to see you. "Someone's coming to see you, Rudy," said Appletree. News was out that Beresivy seemed better, and someone must have told his stepmother because a messenger showed up at the door to say that she, Nan, would soon be on her way. That was quick. Her coming would help the healing process, or it should do. Before that, however, the house needed to become presentable, to say the least, and so did her stepson. Delaying the messenger, Appletree demanded that a party of cleaners come in immediately, and that Nan be stalled. They needed time to get ready.
"So I should, go to the wardens first?"
asked the messenger, a young teenage girl. "The who? Oh, yes, absolutely. Go to them first, and tell them to heat up some water out back." Surely by the wardens she had meant the three people going between the family and the doctor. "Nan's coming," said Beresivy. He knew. Who else would be coming to see him? His anxiety had him pacing the floor. "Rudy, it's time. Follow me if you dare. Let's get spruced up." Appletree went ahead down the hall. He unlatched the back door and went out. Adjusting to the daylight, Appletree saw no surprises. The huge rain barrel, far from full and far from immaculate, would nonetheless be useful. There was soap and a few buckets of clean rinse water. There was also a nice brick fire pit, but no time to heat water. Appletree threw off his old coat and went straight for the most useful of backyard features, the latrine, next to the very old willow tree. When he emerged, he was encouraged to see Beresivy standing in the doorway, though he looked rather like a zombie at a necropolis, a city of the dead. "Time for shock therapy, Rudy, but it's not for you only. It's for me, too. So I'm going first." Appletree, wearing only his pheasant apron, strode to the barrel of water. "Here I go," he said. He stepped from a wood-chopping block and plunged one leg into the water, then the other. It was cold, waist-deep. The tone of his voice betrayed duress as he said, "Now I must go under. That's part of the ritual. Part of the treatment. Same thing. Underwater, I must count to 10. Not once, but 7 times. I can do it fast as I like. You'll do the same later. Here I go." Plunk. As he went down, the water level went up. In under a minute, he splashed up, drew breath, and screamed, "What? Was pretty freaking cold. Chert." Beresivy challenged him. "Doctor, are you just making up this treatment as you go?" "I absolutely am," he answered, laughing back. Thus began their sprucing up. Once begun, things rushed along. Beresivy copied Appletree, who, goose-bumped and shivering all the way, was first to return indoors, where he solved the problem of clothing. Soon the men were ready. Beards were combed but not cut. Nan was going to be very proud. Beresivy was wearing Appletree's fine wardrobe, all of it, from hat to boots. Appletree wore some plain clothes he had brought, initially intended for the patient. He found himself an old cap. "You cut a noble figure, Rudy," said Appletree. Said Beresivy anxiously, "I hope I haven't let her down too badly." "Wait right here, Rudy. They're late, but that should be the cleaners," said Appletree, getting the door. "But if it's Nan, don't worry. We'll meet her outside or something." It was neither the cleaners, nor was it Nan. It was another message. Nan was not coming. She was canceling. And where were the cleaners? They were not going to enter the house until both doctor and patient came out and stayed out. "Tell the wardens," Appletree said to the messenger, losing patience, "that they must all get over here right now and clean the place. And bring all the helpers it takes. If they're worried about ghosts, say I've cleared them, and the demons. All they have to do is clear out the dust and scrub the floors, because that's not my job. Now move it, please."
So I should, go to the wardens?
Beresivy knew. "No one is here to see me," he said, standing forlorn in the very center of the room. What could Appletree say? That Nan needed more time? Don't we all need more time? He felt his heart nearly break to think what Beresivy had come through, and the courage it took to return and begin to associate again. "Rudy, hold on," the doctor said, deciding what he would do. "Just wait right there, Rudy. Someone really is here to see you." Appletree disappeared down the hall and into a room. He could be heard from there announcing, "Lords and ladies, emperors and peasants, wildlife and home life, turkeys and pheasants, presenting Prince Rudy the Pleasant." In a moment he was lugging a tall mirror, taking small waddling steps to balance the bulk. He set it against the wall below where the brass horn had been. "Meet somebody," he said. "Meet yourself." Rudy glared at the image, at the self-image. His eyes cleared. His brow relaxed. Rudy smiled. "Quite the prince," he said. "Nan used to say that sometimes when I was a good boy. You're quite the prince. Even before Mother died. Even before I turned 8. Nan used to let me taste what she was cooking before dinner. I returned the kindness, I guess, by helping set the table. I was going to be a prince who serves. My uncle heard about that. I suppose that's why he liked me, why he might have chosen me to succeed him someday. Some prince thinks he's a rooster. Good luck living that down." Beresivy was talking, and Appletree let him. "You like my town, Doctor?" "Sure, I suppose. Though to be honest, they do seem a bit behind the times. You know, the emperor has his empire, but we have our town. But Doctor, what do you have?" "Doctor?" "Well, I have my city, by the shores of the somber sea, and I have a blue trunk, if that counts for anything." Appletree was reassured by the man's awareness of self and others. "One question, if I may, Rudy. Rudy, Do you remember at all the day you came home? For example, I'm wondering why you chose a rooster. Was it by chance you became whatever was on the apron? You mean, if it happened to be a lion, I might have eaten people? No, Doctor. It's because the day I came home, I took a different street, and I saw a rooster. Things changed. Colors were too bright, especially red. I went home. I got ready to eat. I wanted to help. When I went to the aprons, I remember feeling angry. Angry that the images were not real enough. They were all fake. And I picked out the rooster one because I had just seen one, a real one. I remember feeling that I sort of needed people to understand what real roosters looked like and how they do things. At the same time, I tried to help, but then I dropped a platter of food. Also, my clothes were too tight. I guess I took them off and put on the apron. Only the apron. I went kind of nuts, right? You had a breakdown, Rudy, but you survived it. That's an achievement. I don't know what's so amazing about it, Doctor. I don't think I'll ever live it down. Rudy, or Beresevi the rooster, however you like me to call you, I want to thank you. Thank you for talking about it. You're amazing, you know that? Doctor? Yes. I'd like to take a walk out there, on my own, to stretch my legs. Not your wings? Said Appletree with a tentative smile. No, not my wings, Beresevi said, laughing. I'm slightly more human than bird. Stay well, son. May you live happily and lack for nothing. And you can keep my threads, by the way. It's a gift. I'll get new threads. Your uncle will pay for it. I thank you, Doctor, though I don't see how things are going to be okay. Not yet, but they will. I believe they will. A firm handshake sealed the farewell. It felt to Appletree like his job was done. He could go. He gathered whatever he wanted from the table, bound it with his cord into a lightened bundle. They stepped outside. Good timing. A crew of strong hired helpers were arriving, with one of the 3 wardens at whip's distance behind them, and they carried a coil of rope along with their mops. All eyes caught Beresevi's backside as he strode the other way, standing tall, though no one had to look at his butt this time, because he was well clothed. Everyone stood dumbfounded for a moment, as though they'd just seen the doctor magically duplicate himself. Then they clued in that the one walking away must be the madman escaping. Appletree laid into them firmly. Well, you win. You have it your way. Both he and I are out of the place, as you demanded. Now render the place spotless, please. And I mean immaculate. Turn it from pigsty to palace. Work your magic, even if Nan isn't coming. Got it? I'd help, but it's not my job. If you want me, I'll be at my rooms. Center of town, at the Fuzzy Inn, but not for long. The helpers looked to their boss, who said nothing, but turned red for a second, and shrugged, and pointed for them to go into the house. It was as good as accepting that Beresavi was cured and that they didn't have to chase him down and drag him away. The doctor walked, plain clothes, old cap, and bundle. Yet the boss could not resist a parting shot, and yelled,
"You go too far, Doctor, too far!"
And the doctor reacted, saying over his shoulder, "Me? Too far? Oh, I don't go far enough, I think." The cleaning crew would work hard, make the place spotless, would clear out even more than was necessary. For one thing, they took all the memorabilia away, made it disappear. The aprons, they were gathered in a heap, taken to the edge of town, and burned. Only one apron was known to survive, the newest, the one with the image of the strolling gentleman. Appletree had taken it. He had it at the inn, and would examine it alone with tea. Beresavi, he would return from his nice long walk, and take a nice long sleep, in a proper bed, in one of the back rooms. His dreams would be pleasant fantasies.
You mean burn the aprons or burn the birds?